the battle lines have, of course, once again been drawn in South African football. Two of the most loved clubs locking horns this afternoon. Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, meeting for a third time this season, and this is at the country's iconic fighting ground, the FNB Stadium. Amakosi have won 2 battles in this season's war of 3, and they're looking to make it a hat-trick, and that's by dumping out their arch-rivals from the Nedbank Cup semi-finals. That is what's happening today. That's what's happening this weekend, in fact, because tomorrow we've got Stellenbosch FC taking on Sekhukhune. So, of course, we're looking at the Buccaneers, looking to get their first competitive win over their nemesis since the 30th of January 2021. That's right. It's been 2 years since Pirates have beaten Kaizer Chiefs in any competitive match. Now, it's not 3 points that's up for grabs today. It's a chance to play in a cup final, a chance to fight for 7 million rand. So how is this tussle going to play out? Well, to try and answer that question for us is Laduma, senior reporter Tshepang Mailwane. He joins us now via Zoom. Tshepang, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I've really just set this up, I think, the best way possible. This is a war. This is a battle. We have not seen these two in a cup competition, at least at this particular stage of a cup competition, in a very long time. And they're both coming in here. One of them does have a cup already this season. The other one has not tasted a cup success in 8 years. How is this going to play out?
Good morning, Morena, and obviously good morning to the viewers. Obviously, this is an exciting one based on the fact that it is a cup competition, just one step closer to, or one step away from a cup final for both sides. Like you mentioned, Orlando Pirates have already won a cup, whereas Chiefs are hoping to get to a final and win a trophy for the first time in 8 years. And remember, I think the last time they played in a Nedbank Cup final was that disappointing one against TS Galaxy, when TS Galaxy was still in the National First Division. So they've got a lot to play for, Kaizer Chiefs. I'm not saying Orlando Pirates don't have a lot to play for, because you'd obviously wouldn't mind winning 2 trophies in one season. But Chiefs, I know, are very hungry, obviously, to end this drought, and obviously for Coach Athaswani as well. You look at the season, hasn't really been a good one, and to keep the faith from management in him, I think he needs to go all the way, because you look at the league, they've got 10 defeats. That's a lot. They could, there's still 2 games left, and they could, in the first time in their history, lose more than 10 games in a season, and it would show you that it's a very disappointing campaign. So for him, this game is really big, because he has to get a trophy in the cabinet to sort of ease that pressure and maybe go into next season with a lot less pressure on his shoulders.
Pirates coming into this game with, as you're mentioning, 10 losses for Kaizer Chiefs. Pirates, though, on the other hand, are coming into this game with better form, I think, than Chiefs. Better form than most teams, in fact, just in 2023 alone. You know, they are not converting all of the chances they are creating. They do know how to create them, but they're struggling to put them in the back of the net. And if we just look at the last game, you look at what Dion Hotto was struggling to do as well. I mean, they are finding themselves in the box. They're just not finding that very last touch. How key is that going to be for them, for Hotto, Munapule Saleng, you know, Zugamanja if he does manage to start, Kermit Rasmus if he also does get to start? How important is it going to be for that strike force to find that back of the net?
It's very important. I mean, you look at the last 2 Soweto derbies, Pirates, especially the last one, Pirates did have some opportunities to score against Kaizer Chiefs and even beat them. But then in the end of the game, they lost to an own goal by Oli Sanda. Even in the one where Yusuf Mata scored from his own half, Pirates did have their opportunities, and they're going to need to make sure that they take those opportunities, because Kaizer Chiefs at times have those moments where, one, maybe they're getting a penalty. We've seen it happen quite a few times. Or there are those moments where you make a mistake and you concede and you end up losing the game. So guys like you've mentioned, Saleng, have to come to the party. I think in Soweto derbies, he hasn't really come alive and shown the form that he shows in other games, and this is where he needs to show that he can perform in big games. Yes, he scored against Sundowns in the MTN 8, but I think both sets of players know that there's no bigger game than the Soweto derby, so he has to come alive. Terence as well has to show what he's been showing in other games and take those opportunities. You mentioned Hotto. So everyone in the final third, even those defenders who maybe get opportunities when they set pieces, you have to convert the chances you get, or else Chiefs will get one of those moments and then they win the game, and that's it. You're out of the competition.
That's all it takes. I want to steal a couple of seconds. I shouldn't, but I'm going to try because we cannot not talk about what has just happened in Saudi Arabia. Coach Pitso Mosimane has promoted Al Ahly Saudi back into the Pro League, something that I think a lot of people thought this is career suicide. Talk to us about that.
Huge achievement for him. I think what I like about Pitso is that he's not afraid of a challenge. He can go into absolutely any country where maybe we might feel there's some difficult challenges, but he goes there and he does his work. And, you know, I applaud him for what he's done. I hope that he goes into the top flight. I mean, already there's talks of the club being interested in a Luka Modric. Imagine Pitso getting an opportunity to work with someone like Luka Modric, play in a league where Ronaldo is playing. Messi has been linked with the move there. So that would be big for him next season if all these things come together. And hopefully they don't go back down. They stay there and he does more big things. Or if there's bigger opportunities out there, he can go there and show what he has done with clubs or his last two clubs. Yeah.
Benny McCarthy is sitting on a Manchester United bench. Anything is possible for what is arguably the greatest South African coach to ever exist. Tshepang, we'll leave it there with you. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us here on eNCA. Soccer Laduma senior reporter Tshepang Mailwane. Looking ahead to today's showdown at Soccer City. And, of course, we're just giving props to Coach Pitso Mosimane.